Hey guys, welcome to the Emergence podcast, a podcast that aims to empower fitness professionals through candid conversations about building sustainable minds, bodies, and businesses. I'm your host, Laura Gunder, ex professional ballet dancer turned classical Pilates instructor based in New York City, sharing my insights from a decades long journey navigating an industry with no set path to success. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey guys, welcome back to Emergence. It is November already. Hope you guys are hanging in there. Last week we had Emilio Lara on Emergence, and it was a really fun conversation that really touched on slowing down and kind of humility and this having this invincible mindset and the importance of being kind person both in your professional life and personal life, and um, that to really go the distance in this industry there needs to be prioritization, I guess, on less is more, not only with our clients obviously but with ourselves. And I think something about the timing of this episode has been very prevalent in my own personal life because I have a tendency to definitely try to make things happen, constantly push. And when I feel like things are very out of my control, I feel like I can be more controlling. And I think for the first time in my life, I am trying to, like I've been talking about, listen to all the noise that's going on in my life and all the external factors that are kind of indicating, giving me a larger signal that I do need to kind of slow down and kind of appreciate what I've built. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but sometimes I think we can get so caught up in more and more and more and forget to sort of just slow down and look at where we are in our season of teaching. So, for instance, if you're sort of in an earlier stage and you're in a period of your teaching career where it is really imperative that you're hustling, you're building your client base, you're building your understanding of the method that you're teaching, you're really in a season of learning and an expansion, I guess you could call it. Um, then that's something that you need to be honest with yourself about and make sure that you're prioritizing your health. And maybe you're having to say no to certain social events, and maybe preserve more of your energy for that expansion within your business. Or maybe you're in a more seasoned time of your career and you're trying to figure out, where do I want this career to go? I'm more established, you guess you could say, a more seasoned teacher. And you're trying to kind of decipher, where do I want to take my teaching career? Do I want to, am I happy where I am? Am I happy just teaching privates? Is my goal to open a studio one day, an online studio? Like what excites me, which can be kind of a scary place to be in, because sometimes there's nothing wrong with where you are, but you could want more. And then it's sort of uncomfortable, I could say, because I feel like I'm in this position when you're trying to expand and you feel like you're doing a lot of things to get there and nothing is kind of happening. And so trying to push and to forcefully create change, um, I don't think is a productive way of going about it. I'm all for obviously taking risks, calculated risks, putting yourself out there. But I think I'm learning that at a certain point, in anything in my life, that if I have to push and it's actually doing me a disservice, it's creating more stress in my life and more anxiety, then that is all signal that I need to kind of slow down and reflect and be grateful for the things that I have built for myself. And I hope you feel this way too, because sometimes we do forget about the importance of um, being grateful for everything we have right now, because we can always want more. Things can always be better, and things can always be a lot worse. And personally, some of my own kind of negative habits in terms of overworking and trying to forcefully do things, overtraining, have kind of resurfaced. And I think in the last 2 months, um, the signal has actually really been asking me to slow down because I've been having some health stuff come up. And for the first time, I'm really understanding, and really it's making me evaluate what's important to me, and how much is enough. And um, so this episode really made me think a little bit more about intensity and how actually higher amounts of intensity in anything we do is a short game approach. And as Amelia was saying, for longevity, you destroying your body, you destroying your, by overtraining or by under serving, under eating or overextending yourself for other people, overbooking yourself with your clients is actually doing yourself your long-term goals a disservice. And I think sometimes it's hard for us to admit that because we're all very obviously ambitious people and we want change, right? Because I feel like you get in this industry because you love to move yourself. You love movement in terms of just how you see your life. Like there's a fire and energy in you that obviously likes to do this because it's that energy exchange with our clients. It's that motivation. It's that trying to always become better. So maybe you're in a season like me where you kind of just, maybe we don't focus on being better, but we kind of just focus on being in stillness and slowing down and kind of going a little bit more introspective and kind of letting everything that we've kind of put into motion and just start planting seeds and taking the pressure off for outcomes to happen. Um, or maybe you're in a different part of your life where you are more seasoned and you have a business and you're trying to scale that business, or you've expanded your family, you had like a new baby, or you're getting married, or you just are, launching a new online class offering, or you are, really in a busy point of your career because it's a high career point. And I think that's something that I hope you guys are celebrating. I can't speak directly on that, but I have had other very versed instructors kind of talk about their mindset to that period of their life, and they don't take anything for granted. And on this episode, we did talk about ego and how the ego can kind of get in the way of us truly being present and also just kind of being grateful for everything we have, and how life has a way of kind of um, how do you say, life has a way of kind of I guess, I can't think of the word in my brain, but humbling us. Yes. Life has a way of humbling us when we get too high. So I think, like Emilio was saying, he had this invincibility and he was working out like a crazy person and everything was just intense, intense, intense. And then his body had, he had a huge health issue. And that happens to a lot of trainers. And I really hope you guys don't reinforce those patterns for yourself and really make sure to take care of your bodies, because your bodies are honestly the number one priority for everybody, no matter your client or you, your mental health, obviously, your physical health, and your, kind of spiritual and community health. It's like the people around you really, really affect how we move through this industry and how our body processes stress. And if you're constantly putting your body under huge amounts of stress, it's going to make it really hard to navigate your personal relationships, your relationships with your clients, the relationship with yourself. And I'm learning that, like Amelia was saying, that slowing down and giving your body the time to rest, your mind the time to rest, you actually kind of are able to kind of figure out more about what you want out of life, or be able to really appreciate the good things, and also hold a mirror up to yourself and maybe see some of the bad things that maybe not bad things, just things that are truths, and it is what it is, and maybe it's not serving you. So maybe those some things you have to change, and that can be really hard because, as we know, seeing in our clients, changing movement patterns is really hard. So changing cognitive patterns is even harder. But that's, this is what we talk about sometimes is like neuroplasticity. It's like a muscle. We have to continuously exercise our muscles, continuously exercise our brain patterns and thought patterns to create change. And we'll go back to old movement patterns when we're tired. We'll go back to old thought patterns when we're tired. But that continual just effort to be better, to catch those thoughts, catch those movement patterns on ourselves and our clients, actually over a long period of time, like we were saying, over for the long game, is actually going to make bigger change. So, not being hard on yourself, but really starting to be create that awareness for yourself so you can take better care of yourself. So, that's my little spiel for today. I really enjoyed speaking to Emilio. He was really just a really passionate human being and really inspiring in the way he kind of approaches and attacks life and has this kind of fearlessness and passion that I think is really inspiring. And I really respect in people who are passionate a bit about what they do and how they approach life and just kind of grab life and try to absorb and take everything that it has. And also with that, give that back to the community around you and the people you serve. And it's really hard to give that back if you don't feel that you're able to give that to yourself. I guess that's like in relationships too, right? So making sure that you're preserving yourself and you're able to keep that liveliness within yourself because that's the only way you're going to be able to translate it to others. And energy is currency. And it's important that we take care of our bodies, we take care of our minds, our spirits. And that's what's going to keep you in this industry long term. So I hope you guys are hanging in here. Happy November. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye.